everybody, Andi Kravljaca here. I got a question from a user called Alatreon, in Swedish in fact, who asked, "Hey Andy, is that an Omen I see in the background?" And, well, yes, Alatreon, it is an HP Omen, to make a long story short, but he also asked for a rig rundown and kind of setup video, so I thought I'd share my setup with you, and I'll start with a little signal chain following with whatever causes the sound in the first place. So let's take a look at the guitar collection to begin with. Starting from left to right, this is a Ibanez SR406 6-string bass. You'll see a video right there of what that does. Signed by a very cool secret celebrity, so you're gonna have to check out the video to find out who signed it. This is a Jackson DK2, the Flame Maple Wonder, which you've seen in basically all of my guitar videos so far. Vester Concert Series 2, which you'll see in some of the other videos. It's the purple one with the binding. This is a Marshall JCM 900 4100 100-watt head, signed by another secret celebrity, and I'm waiting for some of you to ask me who it is so that I can make another video. And then the triplets, as I call them. This is an Alhambra 3C with a spruce top, mahogany body. This is an Ibanez. It has a cedar top. This is a 1960 Epiphone Eldorado, and it's a pretty cool guitar. It's a spruce top, a flame maple body, very, very cool V profile neck, and you'll hear a song very soon featuring this really, really cool instrument. Then the newest addition to the family is this 7-string Jackson Soloist SL7, and I'm sure you've seen an unboxing and demonstration video. If not, I will link to it right there. Now moving on, the guitars all go into this Line 6 Qpad XT. Now isn't this a surprise for a video being shot in 2017? A Line 6 Qpad XT, you're absolutely right. This has been the mainstay of my guitar sound for the past 10 years. I actually got it for Christmas 2006, and it has been my go-to guitar box for all of those years. They say you should put guitar playing into 3 words sometimes. My 3 words are make cheap good. Basically, practice until something cheap and something cool sounds very cool. And no reason to go through this. It basically has amp and cab modeling effects and so on, but it is a 15-year-old unit, so if anybody's looking to pick up something else, I would recommend something like an atomic amplifier or going into plug-in territory. Lately I've been using Overloud TH3 in some of the more modern videos, and what I'll do there is I'll do a triple rectifier and combine that with a Sonsamp GT2 model of a triple rectifier as modeled by the TH3. So it's a amp modeler of an amp modeler of a triple rectifier, which has that kind of high top fizz combined with the nice deep bass of a triple recto. It turns out into a good combination when you play them in stereo. Now this plugs into a Steinberg UR22 Mark II audio interface, and this is my main audio interface. It has 24-bit 192 kilohertz sound infrastructure. It has 2 Yamaha D-Pre mic preamps. It has loopback functionality, so you can record what you hear. iOS connectivity, which to be honest isn't that useful for me. It has 48-volt phantom power, which is really cool if you want to power something like this. You've seen this in some of my videos, and I've made a review of this Sontronics STC-3X microphone. The review will be posted magically up there. I like to use that with a Sontronics king-size pop filter. You can just about make out that it says Sontronics right there. And that feeds with an XLR cable into the UR22. That's an Yngwie Malmsteen signature and pick right there. Met him in town once, Stockholm. Really friendly guy. Gave me and my friend backstage passes to a show he was doing that day. So, Yngwie, you're pretty cool in my book, no matter what people may say about you sometimes. Cool feature of the UR22 is it has this input dial, which basically allows you to hear the dry signal coming in to the UR22 or the signal coming from your digital audio workstation. or to mix it just as much as you want. So basically it allows you to have latency-free monitoring of your input signal, which is very, very useful if you're using something like a pod or a microphone where the digital audio workstation isn't actually providing the sound, it's just processing it. Mixing and monitoring is done on these Sennheiser HD380 Pro flat response studio headphones. Very cool unit, basically good price. And then the UR22 hooks up to the HP Omen X. Now, apart from looking like something from a science fiction movie, this actually has a very, very cool design. It has 3 thermal sub-chassis chambers. So this sub-chassis houses the motherboard, which is a micro ATX motherboard. This has a 6700K i7 Intel processor, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 graphics card with 8 gigabytes of graphics on board. It's also liquid cooled, which means that it's darn near silent, which is very, very cool when you're using it as a recording workstation so close to the microphone. The second sub-chassis houses 4 3.5-inch drive bays, which basically house 3.5-inch drives with these pull tabs. You just pull on this thing and it'll come right out. And the third one, the fourth quadrant here, houses the power supply unit. So they're all thermally insulated from each other. Now on the side here you have some USB 3 ports, USB-C ports, a card reader, built-in sound card functionality, which of course I've overridden with this. It has an AC Wi-Fi card, so this isn't actually connected to the internet via cable. It talks to the router in another room via Wi-Fi. As far as the digital audio workstation, I'm using Cubase 9 Pro, and I love it. Video editing is done in DaVinci Resolve, which is a revelation as far as what you can do for free these days with video editing. Peripherals, I've got a Qpad Mk-80. This is a Cherry MX Blue mechanical keyboard. G9X gaming mouse, Rocket Revo mouse pad. And as far as speakers, these are just some very, very cheap Fujitsu 2.1 speakers. There's a subwoofer underneath the desk as well. Last but not least, this is a Samsung Graphite 49 MIDI controller keyboard. And this is somewhat of a low budget wonder. When my old Studio Logic Fetar SL7 gave up, I loved that keyboard, that great Studio Logic Fetar action. I gave myself a budget of about 400 euros or about $400 to $500 to replace it. And I looked at the Akai MPK-249, I looked at some Rolands, the D50, I looked at Native Instruments, looked at all kinds of keyboards, and then I came across the cheaper version of this. It's called the Carbon. I just sat down and started playing the keys, and there's just something about the way you put pressure on the key and then nothing happens, and then when you put enough pressure, the key just kind of cracks. It's very similar to how a harpsichord feels to play, and I love that kind of, it makes for really, really nice fast action, which has great initial resistance, and then the resistance just, drops away completely. Also, it comes with, sliders and faders. It comes with pressure-sensitive drum pads, pitch bend and modulation wheel. These are octave and transposition keys. And it'll fully interface with Cubase 9, so it'll control everything, including transport control over here. Very, very cool keyboard, and it costs a pittance. I think it was 140 euros or something. Ridiculous for the amount of keyboard you get. Well, Alatreon, I hope that this short video helped you understand some of my setup. As I said, make cheap sound good. You'll never find any high-end gear apart from the PC in my setup. All of the stuff is basically middle price, if not cheap, if not used, if not old. So the message here is, it's not about what you own, it's about what you play. It's about the music you hear inside your head. So please keep playing. Keep posting those videos, keep commenting, and for goodness sake, if you have a question to ask me, ask me. As you can see, I am very willing to make videos answering questions like that. So have a great day, guys, and I'll see you later.